Welcome to another episode of the Fresh Bunch Podcast. My name is Mike. I'm here with Ryan, Joel, the famous, world famous Jimi the Tulip, and the great Mimi Pacheco.
Happy to be
It's the
here.
middle of Mother's Day. I ain't got time to fuck around.
Yeah.
Let's keep moving here.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, then let's get this ball rolling.
Do we have to listen to his beard rub against the microphone?
Only when he rubs it against the microphone.
Stop doing that.
It's ASMR.
Okay, well, Mike.
What?
ASMR. Have you never seen those videos? You know what that is?
ASMR.
They're
whispering videos.
Yeah.
They're all videos like this. And they do a bunch of weird shit. Like,
Autonomous sensory meridian response. It's a relaxing, tingling sensation caused by the talking really low.
He doesn't look impressed.
All right, let's go. Mikey, you posted a really nice video today, though.
Did I?
You did.
Which one? I haven't been on social media yet.
With the most
What? No way.
with the
Fuck you. I don't believe it.
with the most handsomest Russell, Goldie Hawn's husband, Kurt Russell.
Yeah.
What movie is that?
Miracle. Where do you come from?
I Come from Mars.
Jeez. One of the greatest movies of all time.
So I guess it's a hockey movie about us playing the Soviets.
I will tell you that you can
Had to be the
connect
80s.
so many things that go on in organized sports to running a business. There's so many things that are similar.
Give me one.
Competition,
Okay. That's all I need.
the will to win over the competitors.
Coaching.
Team.
There's so much.
Team
There's so
building.
much. Management.
I agree. I just want to.
Management,
Yeah.
performance. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you don't play well, you get benched.
How do you bench a sales rep?
How do you bench them?
Mm-hmm.
See ya.
Wouldn't want to
Doesn't
be.
happen here because people, for the most part, perform.
Mm-hmm. Speedboxer.
But I do watch that video.
I liked it.
I do watch that Miracle Locker Room pep talk video pretty much every holiday.
What about the Al Pacino Any Given Sunday locker room halftime talk?
Nothing is as good as
I
that.
don't know. That's pretty good.
Play it.
It's long.
Play it.
Okay.
Al Pacino?
Mm-hmm.
In which movie?
Any Given Sunday.
You didn't see that one either?
Yeah, I saw that one.
I have a funny story about
I went
that.
on a date
They used to play
see
that in the locker rooms. And like
I-
at football, in our football.
I threw up on Jamie Foxx.
You threw up on Jamie Foxx?
Yes.
Doesn't matter.
Where? Wait. I want to know why. How? While Mimi pulls up the.
It was during the filming of that. He was hanging out in South Beach, and I had a little bit too much to drink, and I hadn't eaten. And I turned to like throw up, and he happened to be sitting there. It was
No
at Fat Tuesdays.
Well,
That's the 90s for you. South
Yeah.
Beach in the 90s. Yep. The early 2000s, that was like also South Beach had that vibe.
what was his reaction?
From what I remember, he like jumped back, and then I think I passed out, and I don't remember anything after that.
He might have knocked you out.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I don't know what to say, really. 3 minutes to the biggest battle of our professional lives.
Oh, yeah.
All comes down
Miracle's
to today. Either we heal as a team, or we're going to crumble.
I forgot Dennis Quaid was in this.
Inch by inch,
Yeah.
play by play, till we're finished. We're in hell right now, gentlemen. Believe me. And
LL Cool J.
we can stay here, get the shit kicked out of us, or we can fight our way back into the light. We can climb out of hell. 1 inch at a time.
One box at a time.
You know, when you get old in life, things get taken from you. I mean, that's part of life. But you only learn that when you start losing stuff. You find out life's this game of inches. So is football.
Sorry for that.
Because in either game, life or football, the margin for error is so small. I mean, 1/2 a step too late or too early, and you don't quite make it. 1/2 second too slow, too fast, you don't quite catch it. The inches we need are everywhere around us. They're in every break of the game, every minute, every second.
Every
On
box,
this
every
team,
bunch.
we fight for that inch. On this team, we tear ourselves and everyone else around us to pieces for that inch. We claw with our fingernails for that inch. Because we know when we add up all those inches, that's gonna make the fucking difference between winning and losing. Between living and dying. I'll tell you this, in any fight, it's the guy who's willing to die who's gonna win that inch. And I know if I'm gonna have any life anymore, it's because I'm still willing to fight and die for that inch.
So that's a pretty good one, but I still,
4 minutes later.
I'll stick with Kurt Russell.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have a hard time looking.
Is that Kurt Russell? That's not Kurt Russell.
No, yeah, Kurt Russell was the one in the
In
morning.
Miracle, yeah.
In Miracle, yeah.
Okay, yeah. I'll stick with Kurt Russell.
That's fair.
Yeah. And I do listen to it pretty much every holiday. Gives me a little bit of
Motivation.
not just that.
Gets the blood,
Not just that,
gets the blood
because
going.
no, there's a lot of people sitting in sales rooms or sitting in buying offices or sitting that think that it's an individual sport.
Mm-hmm.
What we're doing,
Right. It's not.
there could be a designer in some flower shop, or there could be a packer in a wholesale house. If you don't have a team and you don't play it like a team sport, you're not going to win. You're not going to win. There's a lot of people
Individually or collectively.
Yeah, there isn't. I don't know. I don't want to get all corny and shit, but there's not one person that could stand alone and try to accomplish what this industry tries to accomplish in these 15 days of Mother's Day season or Valentine's season or wedding season. It takes more than a team.
Mm-hmm.
It takes the upper office, right? You look at all these sports teams, they got, they got the obvious stuff, the trainers and the equipment guys and the players.
Mm-hmm.
But then they also have like a whole management team and a whole staff, in the upstairs office. All these, it's very similar.
And they even have like strength coaches and people that stretch you out, and because that's all collectively part of. There's all those little things you don't think about, like somebody says, "Oh, I'm a strength coach." What's a strength coach? But it's an integral part of the. Tom Brady throwing 2 million passes.
He probably used his own coach. He probably didn't even use theirs.
His own.
It's a mix of both.
I watched it today, Mike. I watched your Miracle speech. I'd never seen it before. I guess.
Oh, really?
The movie had never. It came out in 2004.
You should watch it with the boys.
I will.
They'll enjoy it.
I didn't realize it's on Disney. So
it's in Lake Placid. But thank you. I believe in that. I think any leader in business should believe in that.
Here.
You got these players, with their sports agents. They might have had a good season, and because they had a good season, they feel like, now it's not about the team anymore. Now it's about me. And that's a mistake. That's a mistake. If you got those skills, you're better off bringing those skills to the team.
Here.
And having the team.
But there's always the coach or the motivation. There's got to be the motivation has to be there. Dylan sent me a thing that said,
but it has to be true and passionate like Kurt Russell said.
And trust.
It can't be some bullshit story.
Kurt Russell is pretty cute, especially at that time. So
have you seen him lately?
I know. I watched the show. I watched the same show, The Madison.
Did you see him when he saved New York?
Oh yeah, and the
oh god, that was one of the worst. I think I walked out of that movie. I think I walked out.
Tomorrow?
No,
Which one?
That was like an old
Escape from New York.
Escape from New York, like an old 70s.
Yeah, I think I walked out of that movie.
That was when he was like young. He was like really
I think
young.
we cut out of junior high school to go watch it. I think that's how old it is.
Yeah, isn't from the late 70s.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
I like him. I like him, and I like that he's still with Goldie Hawn.
We used to cut school and go down to Chinatown and watch Bruce Lee movies.
My mom worked in a movie theater, and she didn't have a babysitter, so we used to stay in the movie theater while she worked.
What is it, porno?
I watched that movie Rats like 70 times. Remember that movie Rat where the giant rats like took over the city?
No, I thought you meant cats.
No, Rats. It was called Rats.
Okay, well, we had a really busy April to the point that we couldn't finish recapping some stuff. So we're actually going to go back and talk about some of the stuff and talk about how we supported or we were part of some big industry events. Jimi, you want to start off?
Yeah. So I had the privilege the second week of April 14th, I went up to Washington, D.C. for the SAF Congressional Action Days.
Did you take your tulip suit?
I did not. I actually had to go buy a suit because I didn't own one.
You looked very dapper.
Other than so that was a
You looked very presidential.
Yes, which I tried
or is it congressional?
Well, he looked very congressional.
Had I known that it was that easy to get in, I could have just ran past Secret Service. So I went up my first time up there, and I went to the Capitol building, and it was a lot of fun. We
That's the first time you had been to DC?
That was not the first time I've been to DC. That was the first time I went to the Capitol building,
cool.
actual inside the Capitol building, and walking around and seeing all of the Congress offices and all of our state representatives.
They got some big hallways there.
Yeah,
don't they?
it's huge. And then
you could drive a truck through those hallways.
And then we actually had.
Did you have a meeting in the hallway?
We did. One of the representatives, I forget who it was. Like if I look at my list, I can recall. But one of them, we went to go visit, and there was meetings that were crossed over. So we ended up meeting. We didn't actually meet with any of the representatives themselves.
They must have not known that Jimi the Tulip was in town.
Well, Congress was in session that day. It was the first day they were back, so we didn't really meet with anybody.
I wonder what they were talking about.
Who knows? But it was their first time back in session, so they were all on the floor. So we met with all of their either junior senators or like their assistants,
staffers,
exactly.
The staffers. Are they college students? The staffers, or just out of college?
They're just out of college, or they're in their last mile.
Are they
going to
be
school.
Lawyers or
political science majors are usually there? Yeah, they can do all sorts of stuff. But yeah. So you weren't alone.
I was not. I was with...
Who's on your team, Jimi?
I was in group one. So there wasn't a lot of us. There was maybe 10 or 12 of us.
In your group?
No, in total. That went up
total.
There.
It was different from CAD than the regular CAD mic.
Yeah.
Because it was a fly-in, which is different than the actual
that's
CAD.
not a good turnout.
No. It's because they actually wanted a smaller group this time.
Yeah.
It wasn't the same 3 days that normally happen. This was a fly-in.
Oh.
So I was in group one. So with me was Austin Bryan from Heart of.
What a great talker he is.
Yeah, he was kind of the leader because he was kind of like the veteran of our group. So he did most of the talking, and then by the end he was trying to get me to talk, but I was just listening because it was my first time. So
he's great. He should be on the podcast.
Yeah. So he was really good. Not only was he knowledgeable, but he would talk in the meetings, but even outside of the meetings. So we would talk a lot, and I would try to pick his brain about things. And so he was in the group. So is David Mitchell, who was another wealth of knowledge as well. He's a veteran.
Yeah, he's my outstanding varieties partner.
Yeah. Victoria from Fern Trust was,
Register.
Yeah, she was in our group too. And then so was Robert, and I'm maybe going to butcher his name even though he said it a million times, Swain Camp from QPAC Growers. So that was our group. There was another group.
You had Amanda J too, didn't you?
Was Amanda
Amanda was in the other group.
In the other group, I think, yeah.
I saw a picture of you and Amanda.
We probably met up at one point, but yeah, it was pretty cool. I mean, we went and we discussed.
What was your asks?
We were asking for funds. So apparently, there's funds that are allocated.
Money for research
and things like emergency funds for, like Victoria was explaining to them, like, with the freeze that just happened, that, this is money that they needed, to kind of keep going and survive. Yeah. And apparently their Congress allocated money for these things, but the money goes through USDA. USDA is in charge of the money, but apparently USDA is holding on to the money and never dispersed it. And so
they're worried they won't be getting paid, so they need something for payroll.
Right. So when we talked to these staffers, this was unbeknownst to them. They didn't know that. We're like, well, the money was allocated. And it says, yeah, but nobody in the industry has really ever seen the money. And they're like, what do you mean? I'm like, yeah, the money has not been dispersed, and they weren't asking for anything extra. I think there was like $5 billion that was allocated to the industry. They were not asking for anything extra. They were just asking not to have that money get cut or for us in this side of the industry to be forgotten, so that we have that kind of emergency fund there.
Well, you were not alone because I had to call in some backup.
Uh-oh.
Hey there, Fresh Bunch. It is Christine Gunther from Wildflower on special assignment today. And I am here in Washington, D.C., our nation's capital, with none other than Jimi the Tulip. And we are talking about Congressional Action Days. So, Jimi, I understand today was your first time attending, going to the Hill on behalf of the floral industry. So, did anything surprise you today, or is it what you expected?
Well, I didn't know what to expect. It was my first time, so I was very excited. My first time in the Capitol building, so I was just taking it all in. I didn't do much talking, a little bit here and there. I was just taking it all in. Austin did a good job of kind of leading us in the meetings, and I learned a lot.
Were you guys running through the halls?
So we were going to dinner. But we were following her lead because she said, the restaurant's this way. She walks
so fast.
Yeah, so we went all the way to the other side of this pier looking for the restaurant. When we got to the end of the pier, we're like, the restaurant's not here. Yeah. And she looks around, she goes, it's on the other side. So we had to walk all the way back to the other side.
Yeah, she walked.
I learned a lot about agriculture. It was a lot of agriculture-led meetings. I did talk about our industry a little bit. And, it was, for me, it was more of like a fact-finding and just learning about how, the Senate. We didn't really meet with any senators. We met with, most of the time it was their assistants. But they did express a lot of interest in some of the concerns that we had. And they, some of them knew already what, the concerns we were talking about, and, kind of assured us that they were working on it.
So how much, Mike, you've been there, you've done this before. How much of the stuff actually gets done while you guys are visiting them? Like, do they promise anything, or are things like followed up on? Is that part of the lobbyists at SAF?
When I was there, I was on Oscar's team, and it felt like first of all, you went and you listened to some speakers, and you listened to the SAF people and Joe
Bischoff.
Bischoff.
Yeah, he was the
and they kind of tell you, okay, these are our 3 asks. This is what we want to, try to
focus on.
And then they warn you, maybe you're going to get in with the elected official, or maybe you're going to get in with their staffers. You might not even have a meeting in the office. You might have a meeting in the hallway, which is what happened. You go and you basically talk about your 3 asks. We did meet with 2 elected officials and 1 staffer in the hallway. So I don't know if anything's followed up on or not. I hope so. But it's good to go to we went to Florida Guys. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if Jimi went to Florida Guys, but we went to Florida Guys, and in their district, it was Diaz Ballart guy.
Mario.
Yeah. That guy last year had a billboard out on the highway here from the Cuban community condemning him, saying, you turn your back on us and whatever. And then a week later, the billboard was gone. And you rent those by the month. So something happened.
Yeah.
Where the billboard got taken down. But anyway,
his whole family is part of Cuban.
His brother's on the news.
Yeah, they're part of the Cuban politics from back in the 60s. So yeah.
Okay, well, they put a billboard up about him, not nice, and then within a week, the billboard was off.
I like his brother's...
So I guess there was some reaction.
I like his brother's anchoring, though, because at the end of every session that he does, because he does the weekends, he leaves with positive, he ends it with a positive story. So he does really good job.
He's a fill-in guy.
He's the weekend guy.
Oh, the weekend guy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I like him.
I like him, too.
I like him. And when you sat there and you talked to him, you could tell they're politicians. It's okay, I'm going to listen to what these guys got to say.
I mean, some of the Florida representatives had a bit of a close tie. Some of them went to school here in Florida. Some of them were, either former or ex-farmers, or had some sort of, so they could relate. Like the first one we met from Ashley Moody's office, she had a connection. She understood. So immediately when like Austin started talking, she's like, yeah, we know. And they were like, oh, okay. So she goes, yeah, I mean, I've been pushing this and I've been on this since, even before Congress went off for the season. So it's on our radar. It's on our table. So, we didn't really have to convince her much about it. So they kind of knew. Same thing with Rick Scott's office. They knew. They kind of, had it on the radar already. Yeah. So they knew, either what we were going to talk about or...
They probably get prepped before.
Yeah.
Or no.
Or it's... I don't know if they get prepped before
Even
or...
if they don't know, they're politicians.
They're going to lie.
Yeah.
They know how to make you sound like they know. So...
Do you feel like because it's... Especially with like what's in politics nowadays, like there's a little bit of like... They're just there to like hear you, but they're not actually gonna...
I did get that feeling at one point. I mean, I guess that day is because there were other groups there besides us. There was like a nursing group, and there was like, they had all red T-shirts on, and they were going from office to office, I guess. So I guess it's like one day where, because I'm thinking to myself as we're walking through the hall, how do these people ever get any work done if every...
No, they have several days that several
okay,
groups
yeah,
go in.
that's what I was thinking. All right, because...
Yeah. Definitely there was a line of appointments.
Yeah.
Like when we were waiting to get in the building.
Yeah.
Like 20 guys from Texas, all dressed in black suits with cowboy hats.
Waiting to see their
There must have been
representative.
the beef.
Yeah.
Beef.
And then...
Or the leather industry.
The
and
cattle. Some kind of...
And then David actually went off on his own for like a half an hour. He went to go see... His representative, and they kind of encouraged walk-ins. They say, look, you don't have an appointment, you can walk in, but I mean, you're a constituent, so they'll make time for you, So he did that, and then he came back to the group. But yeah, I mean, it was kind of like a madhouse, every meetings every half hour. I mean, because our meetings were half hour to 45 minutes blocks where we had to kind of go in and present our case. But yeah, they were having meetings blocks like.
And they were nice. They let you take pictures with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
went out on the balcony to take a picture with Diaz Balart.
So our group actually took the tunnel. We took the little tram from one end of the Capitol to the other.
That's cool.
Yeah. Well,
I didn't do that.
Did you go to the Library of Congress?
We did not.
That's the coolest building inside.
We did not.
Inside is so cool.
So that tunnel, it's not open to the public, and it's not like you can take a tour, but you have to go with a staffer. So the staffer that was escorting us from office to office actually took us, and we went. It's a short ride.
It's had special clearance.
It's like 2 minutes. It goes from I thought it was like a Disney. I got the camera out. I'm like, okay, and it was like 2 minutes. I could have walked it faster. Probably.
I will admit that a lot
cool.
of the time when I was walking in there, I was thinking about the movie The Distinguished Gentleman with Eddie Murphy. Yeah, see that movie?
Well, we walked through...
I picture it like the episode of House of Cards. That's how I picture it.
Well, we walked through the rotunda, and I was trying to picture, the whole January 6th thing going on in there at that time. I know.
Interesting choice.
I know. Because you see it on TV 1,000 times. So that was the first thing that came to my mind when we came out of one of the hallways into the rotunda. I looked around and go, I recognize this place. Even though I'd never been there.
Don't worry, Jimmy. We pardon you.
Okay.
I'm sure if we looked at the footage of that, we could find somebody that's like...
Somebody looks identical.
Exactly like
identical.
Jimmy.
Yeah. Well, I have an alibi. I was here.
The Secret Service guys were watching you.
I was here.
Jimmy, you straight up. You look like the guy with the horns. With your beard.
Even your car. Like your car looks like it. You have like
with
USA flags and stuff on it. That makes me think like if I saw you just like on the street, like, oh, look at this guy. Do you know how many presidents had a beard?
Name some.
I do not. Lincoln had a little bit of a beard.
Only 5 presidents had a full beard.
Taft.
Well, according to Google, I'm going off of this list. I don't know if Taft ever had a beard.
Grant
had a beard.
Lincoln and Grant are 2 of the 5.
Who else had a beard?
George Washington.
No. He had a wig.
Such a clean cut boy. Adams?
Grizzly Adams.
John Quincy Adams.
No, that's the wrong.
No, it's John Adams. There's also John Quincy Adams.
Both of those are not on the list.
They're not on the list?
They didn't have a presidential barber at that time.
Hayes, Garfield, and Harrison.
Garfield.
Okay.
I don't know about the other two, what they look like.
But yeah, it was interesting. And it was a full day, a lot of walking, a lot of talking. It was interesting to see the different offices. Some of the representatives had their political beliefs tacked up on the wall.
Yeah, I think that's what would be hard for me.
Yeah.
When I was there, it was free Venezuela.
When did you go? What year did you go?
3-4 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah. I think I don't go again because I want other people on
to experience
our team to have that
nice.
experience. Yeah. I will send someone every year.
It was a great...
anyone who wants to have that experience, I will send them because I think that it's not so much that we're going to get any business out of it. Mm-hmm. It's not that kind of a trip. It's more of
a learning
connecting and learning. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And seeing how things really work in the real world, you know?
Awesome.
Yeah. Because I think like to even get really close to these people, you need to like donate money and stuff. Like you have to.
Well, and that's what the lobbyist is
to buy
for.
$1,000 plate to their dinner. Or some shit.
And that's what that's what Joe. We had a meeting with the lobbyist, which was Joe with the lobbyist company. There's a private company, and he kind of in the beginning gave us the talking points that what to say, what not to say, what's on the agenda, what we're asking for. Mm-hmm. His job or his company's job is to do the dinners and the golfing and the schmoozing and that kind of stuff. So
and the charging.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Jimmy, for representing the company.
Thank you for your service, Jimmy.
Yeah.
Hoorah!
Do you have a presidential or political joke?
Why did the president bring a ladder to the speech?
To cut down the cherry trees.
Because he wanted to take his campaign to the next level. Why did the president keep extra pens in the Oval Office?
Because the Sharpies were gone.
Because the auto pen was broken.
In case he needed to draw executive orders.
Another drum.
Jimmy, wow.
Well, this is going to buy you
think instead of ChatGPT,
another 4-week hiatus.
To Google and just find a website that has them.
Why did the president become a gardener?
Why?
Because he was great at planting policies.
All right. 0 for 3. Nice try, though.
All right.
Damn,
we don't need any more.
Swing and a miss.
Airball.
Okay, but that was one of the events. What was the other event, Mimi?
The other event was we participated in the Doral Art and Flower Festival here in...
You mean Doral, the city of flowers.
Oh, Mike, yes. That's what you should be. You should be the city of flowers.
It is called that.
I know.
That is the official...
Yeah. A couple of years ago, they had a name change.
Yeah.
An official name change.
Yeah. Well,
City
not
of
a
Flowers.
neat name change. It's just Doral. That's our slogan, the city of flowers, which makes sense because there's a lot of companies that reside or do business out of.
It could also be like Doral, the city of tiles.
Yeah.
Tile companies.
City of ceramic
City
and
of
marble.
ceramic and marble.
They want to make it Doral, the city of EVs, because Tesla's based out of here on 25th Street, and so they were pushing for that too. But anyway,
should be Doral, the city of really fucking expensive apartments. Huge prices for the apartment. I was browsing the other day. Man, my first apartment was like $300 a month.
These apartments are really
crazy.
Expensive. Yeah, Ruben Casa from the Yola Goose,
but it is clean.
It is very clean.
Doral's clean town.
Yeah,
well maintained. I will say that.
You could thank the mayor, Christy Fraga.
Yeah. She
was at the event.
We're going to have to call her.
We're going to call her.
We're going to have a problem here.
Oh.
We're going to have a problem because in this development that we're in, there's only one exit that you can go right or left. There's one exit that you can go only right, and there's one exit go right and left. The road that leads up to the light, that way you can go right and left, is really short. In a few months, we're going to have a massive logistics company move in, and they're going to have 50, 60 trucks that are all leaving at the same time, and that light is really long.
Yeah, and especially when it's backed up, you can't make the left.
You can't. That light's really long. So we're going to have to call her. She's going to have a solution to this problem because whoever planned this development that we're in didn't think about this big logistics company coming in with all these trucks.
And the line is usually to make the left onto 36th Street.
Right.
It's in the middle. It's in the middle of the intersection.
Right.
And people are driving.
I have to go around.
Yeah. That's lately what I've been doing.
It's going to be a problem. Once they move in, the wait to get out is going to be 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah,
at least.
What would you say?
Because that light is really long.
Occupancy here, how much of it is occupied currently? But just by us, there's only like 2 or 3 companies right now.
It's 100% occupied. Just this one guy hasn't moved in yet.
Oh.
But everyone else that's in here doesn't have a lot of traffic. They don't have a lot of in and out.
Do you have like a...
This guy's going to be in and out all day.
Do you guys have like, I guess like a meeting?
An association?
Yeah.
No.
He just knows somebody that knows somebody.
I just know by the time I have to wait for the light, and there's only 2 cars or 3.
And you're coming in really early and leaving really late. So imagine you...
Well, I don't even go that way when I don't have to.
You go the other side.
I go the other way.
I see you all the time.
I go right.
Mm-hmm.
I make a right. But you can't make a left from that. You can't make a legal left from there.
So we have to call Christy Praga.
We're going to have to call them because the city has to come down and figure that shit out because it's going to take our trucks 15, 20 minutes just to get through that light.
Yeah.
That's expensive.
We can bring it up next year at CAD.
No, we have to do it here at the before they ask for the support at the Doral.
While the mayor is still the mayor.
Yeah.
Oh, she's gonna be NCAD one day. She's got high ambition.
Okay. I just want the light to go faster.
Yeah, that's gonna be. We should talk.
We need a light,
and the highway's right there, so everyone is trying to take that highway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then people get in the left lane and to get onto 8 going south, and they cut off the people that are in the.
I do that every now and then.
I get hit almost every day.
No.
Dan Riley runs over the cones on the highway.
I see him.
He doesn't always
see him.
Not in his new car, I bet he does.
No, he does not. Does not.
No, he does.
In the BMW, he does not. No.
Okay, let's keep moving. It's 2:00. I got a lot of shit to do.
Me too.
It's Mother's Day.
Me too.
Jimmy's got to look up more jokes.
So what happened at the the Doral Flower Art Festival?
So this year was a little different because it was also in conjunction with an AIFD Educational Day. So aside from having this beautiful gallery of floral art from everywhere, representing different floral companies throughout Miami and Doral, it also had a day full of education, which we had Renee Tucci and Alejandro Figueira representing because
I always miss Renee when she's around.
The Tooch.
I didn't see her in Philly, and I didn't see her here.
Yeah. You were at the Fantastic Four.
Frozen 4.
That thing. So
that thing.
Yeah, but I'll just let you listen to Renee say it herself. Well, Ruben first.
Ruben did a good job.
And we're in the opening night. And Ruben, first of all, congratulations, the 6th year. I think I've been to everyone. I know Olga has as well. But this one feels really special. Congratulations to you and to Yola for this amazing outcome.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mimi. And we thank Jet Fresh for being such a wonderful sponsor. You're always so generous. And without you, we could not make it. This year, we are really lucky to have Los Silleteros from Colombia, which is a cultural movement in Colombia for 70 years. Wow. So we are happy to bring that energy here. And we are going to Medellin to do programs about AIFD and conferences.
Oh, so the Silleteros are really here, tourism, the Director of Tourism for Medellin?
That's correct. We had the Director of Cultural Affairs from Medellin come with them, and also the Convention Bureau of Tourists of Medellin, who are the ones who organize this parade every year.
For our listeners, can you quickly describe what we're looking at right now? What is this?
Well, this is basically, they call it La Silleta. It looks like a ladder, and what it is they come from the mountains, and it started because they used this kind of structure to bring their flowers to the market in Medellin, in the city. And on occasions, if there was an elderly person that could not get down to the city, they would carry the elderly person on their back like this.
Wow.
So it developed into a cultural movement. And they are all farmers of flowers. So when they create, and they have competitions as well.
Yeah, I can
it's big time. So they were amazed. I will tell you one thing, that we showed them the hot melt glue, Sahara. They had never seen it.
Wow.
And then they used it in the Silleta.
Well, I love Medellin's tagline because aquí todo florece, which means here everything flourishes. And I think it's just the way that it sounds in Spanish is so beautiful. But when you see this, I can't help but also think of like, it's a tribute piece. It looks very similar to like a sympathy piece, but at the same time, the colors are so bright that it doesn't give you anything but to make you smile. Like everybody's been looking at it. Renee Tucci, guys, everybody knows that she's about a little bit, very shorter than me, right? I would say, yeah. She's trying to carry one, and we're telling her, Renee, let's not do that.
They're no joke. Those are some heavy pieces.
Yeah. So this year, you did something very different, and I think it was one of the reasons why we were very, very excited, was that you brought along some education, not just to the public, because I know you've had classes in the past on Sundays, and you've brought the community together, but this year you're bringing in the community of floral designers, and not just floral designers, but you've brought along an elite squad. It's like the Avengers of AIFD, the Latin Avengers, because you have a lot of the representation from Alejandro for the AIFD Latin chapter, and then you also have the I'm sorry, pardon my French, but the badasses of Deborah de la Flora coming in for the Miami, like, big guns, you know? We got Olga, we got Fiverr, and I don't know how you did it, but you got the president from AIFD here.
No, I'm thrilled to be here. I mean, when we started talking about this a few months ago, it was not a hesitation for me to say, I'm coming. It doesn't matter what it takes, I'm coming. And I'm so excited to be on stage with Alejandro tomorrow, presenting a bilingual education program to talk about AIFD and steps to becoming AIFD. And we're actually going to share our personal stories through the flowers that we're showing. So it's going to be a wonderful day. And I'm always excited to be around our flower family and network.
And let me tell you something. Good news. We are completely sold out for tomorrow.
Wow, yes. Olga was getting calls, right?
My family told me yesterday,
they couldn't get in.
Everything is sold. Wow.
Yeah.
And I say, don't
we
worry,
oversold.
You, my family, you enter with me.
VIP.
So the next day was the education, and the first one was Favor from Sunshine came in, did a great presentation about actually the Sunshine Farms. He had a lot of like beautiful imagery and showcasing really the farm, which was awesome because it's nice for a lot. I mean, we take for granted that we've actually seen what it looks like for a flower to be grown or the process that it takes. But a lot of people don't know what goes into it. So a lot of people were shocked when they saw that. And then in comes our Miranda Priestley, Olga Ramirez, AIFD, and she just did an outstanding job. Like, I'm not just saying it because she's my colleague and my friend, but she really did kick butt up there. And she had like people coming up to her and asking her, Deborah was like, wow, Olga, this is really next level. I can't believe, like that you did this. She got a lot of praise from people who are mentors to her. Alejandro and Renee are both, high up there in AIFD. And I have to say, then afterwards, there was a couple other people. Deborah de la Flora presented. But it was really, really beautiful to see the amount of support that Renee and the AIFD team took to help those Latino community, because this was I would say 90% Latino event. And it was really beautiful because Renee, she didn't have to come. She could have just sent the pens and all the knickknacks and said, okay, AIFD wants you to come to AIFD Orlando, but to the Elevate. But she really was behind there, and up there on stage, her and Alejandro did a bilingual presentation, and it was really, really beautiful. So,
yeah, Olga told me she was nervous, but after a few minutes, she got confidence, and she said it was really good, and she wants to do it again.
Yeah, I think
it's her first time.
This is something they're going to do every year now? Or?
I don't think so. I think that this is because AIFD is in Orlando. I also think that the president, again, Renee, is a huge supporter of the AIFD Latin chapter, which is growing immensely. And a lot of the people there were Olga's clients as well, or like Jet Fresh, people who come by at Jet Fresh. So it was really fun to see them, saying, oh my gosh, this is how I can use these flowers. And that was really cool. but we had a lot of people going in and
Thank
out.
you. I know you spent a lot of time on that too, Mimi. Thank you very much.
It was really nice to participate. And like I said, again, like a lot of these people come here to this country and they feel like they've lost some. I mean, we were talking to people who had master's degrees back in their countries and this and that. And they found this creative outlet that they now want to make into a business. And I think that's a really beautiful thing that we could help align that and give them that opportunity.
And this industry needs
100%
new.
The guy from Roots, I don't remember his name. Roots and Roots. Pedro.
Yeah.
He did a beautiful wave that created that was an actual Puerto Rican flag. And when he told us the story, he actually showed me that there was a piece of his first logo inside there because he, handmade it. And he says, I came here with nothing, and now I've built this company and I'm part of an industry and part of a group of community that makes me feel really proud. So he made a beautiful display that it was interactive. Like if you were standing by it, you could hear the little frogs, the coquis from Puerto Rico inside the display. And it was just a very, very, very touching. We also had Jackie from Pedal Cartel who used our product. There was also, we sponsored a structural design contest that was really nice. So it was a lot of stuff that was going on, but very interesting.
Who made the avatars?
We helped sponsor it, but it was two of students from Yola Goose's school. And they actually they took the mannequins and they had to create with paper mache, and they had to paint the mannequins from scratch. They did a lot of hard work. It was really good. And then Anna from Luxury Flowers, she did a beautiful structural thing that was 100% part of our stuff. Pedal Cartel did a beautiful ballerina made out of our stuff. So it was really nice to see. And again, I mean, I could play you a bunch of people saying thank you to Jeff Fresh, but I don't think that that's why we sponsored. We didn't need to have that, but it was just a really nice way to support this growing community.
Well, congrats to Ruben and a successful Yola.
Yeah, Ruben and Yola, they did a lot of work on that.
They've really been instrumental in building up the.
He was one of the first.
Here.
He was one of the first AIFD members, like Latin community.
They were
members.
Pioneers in getting the name changed and everything. I remember when we had the whole name change at the
I knew him from New York City.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah, he was telling me that, Mike. He was telling me the story.
I was a kid. Yeah, and he was one of those event florists that were not really a thing back then.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, it was really interesting. And then again, the idea was to promote AIFD, which we are a big sponsor of this year as well. That's in Orlando. They're doing it again in July. So I hope that they get what they were looking for. But I did hear a couple people saying that they were going to go. You can go and get a day pass. So a lot of these people could just take the Bright Line and get a day pass to the AIFD convention. So that's pretty cool.
Cool.
Okay, well, thank you for listening to another great episode of The Fresh Bunch, whether you're listening to us in the morning, in the evening, or in the middle of the day.
There you go.
Okay, this is Mike. I got my boy Ryan. I got Joel. I have the world famous, internationally known Jimi the Tulip.
I don't know about world famous, but
I'll never forget walking with you in Holland and the guy comes up to you and says, "Hey, you're the guy with the beard."
Or when we're having breakfast.
You sure?
That happens to you all the time.
I know, but it was just like, he didn't say you're the guy from the Instagram, and you're not the guy
with the
from
beard.
Jeff Rush, you're not the guy from America.
Yeah.
You're the guy with the beard.
Yeah, we're having breakfast, minding our own business, just talking amongst ourselves.
Yeah. But there was another guy in the hallway, in the aisles in the show that said, "You're the guy with the beard," which made me laugh. And of course, we have, how can I leave without saying, the great Mimi Pacheco.
How does Joel get an adjective? What's he got to do?
What do you mean?
He's just Joel.
I'm fine with that. I like that.
Joel is low key.
Yeah.
He likes to fly under the radar.
Like Beyonce.
Joel.
Just
there you go.
Joel.
Fair enough.
But I will get you an adjective. I'm going to have to give it some thought. I'm not going to call you pockets or something like that. I'll get you something
like
with some quality.
The great Mimi Pacheco, the world famous Jimi the Tulip.
Well, pockets.
How about the talented?
There you go.
Joel Serrano. How about that? So let me do it again. Let me do it again.
Pockets is a noun that turned into a pronoun.
Thank you for listening to another wonderful episode of The Fresh Bunch. My name is Mike with Ryan, the talented Joel Serrano, the world internationally famous and known social media rock star Jimmy the Tulip, and the great Mimi Pacheco, and great whether it's morning, noon, or evening. Thank you.